If you don't know where your next real estate transaction is coming from, then you need to pay attention to this video. Hey guys, it's Dave here with Elite Real Estate Coaching and Training. And I was doing a coaching with somebody who's a struggling real estate agent earlier today. And I started thinking about that conversation and things that I could share with you. So stick around and we'll learn some more together. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Dave here again, and I just want to thank you for tuning in one more time. Today I'm going to talk about the predictability of a real estate business. You heard me right. I just said predictability in real estate business in the same sentence, and for the overwhelming majority of real estate agents, they would think that's a crazy statement to make. You know, how in the world can a real estate business be predictable? I think that when we get there, it's because real estate agents aren't acting like business people. They're acting like salespeople. And salespeople need a sell. They need a sell today, and they're constantly chasing what I call the ready now buyers and ready now sellers. We started talking with this particular agent about their funnel. How many people needed to be in their funnel, and how long should somebody be in that funnel before they come out the bottom? And the short answer for that agent was, I don't know. And the reason I couldn't answer that question for that agent was because they didn't have enough people in the funnel for any length of time for us to be able to analyze that data. And I can almost hear the real estate agents start to moan out there when I say words like analyze data. But that's what a smart business owner does. They analyze data. They're looking at the things in their business and making conscious business decisions about what is in their best interest financially in the long term instead of the short term. So you can almost imagine a real estate agent walking into a broker's office one day and they say, hey, I don't have any business. And the broker says, well, you got to go out there and prospect for business. And yes, that's absolutely true. The agent does need to prospect, so they go out and they prospect. And we'll get more into prospecting here in a minute. And they prospect for a while, a week or two or three, and they find a deal or two, and they stop prospecting. The thing that actually got them business, they stopped doing because now they're solely focused on servicing that client at a really high level. And although it is commendable for you to want to service at a high level, you can never take your eye off the prospecting ball, because prospecting is what you do that gives you the opportunity to service people at a high level. So this agent stops prospecting, they service for a really long time, about 4 weeks or so, and then they get it closed, or those 2 deals closed, and they wake up one morning and they have no business. And then they go back to prospecting, and it takes weeks and weeks and weeks of prospecting to find another deal. And that's when you look at a real estate agent's business income statement, and it looks, if you were to graph it on a graph chart, it would look like somebody having a heart attack. It's way up and then way down and then way up and then way down. Guys, it doesn't have to be that way. If you treat the minutes in your day with the same value that you would the dollars in your pocket, then you would probably be much more effective at how you live your life. This particular agent, we just took out the amount of money they made last year, divided it by what they admitted was about a 30-hour work week, and divided that by 52, and they could easily extrapolate what their hourly wage was. And in this particular agent's case, it was more than $50 an hour, which is not a bad wage. But doggone it, at the end of the day, it was the up and down that was kind of wearing them out and burning them out. And that's one of the reasons why we have such a high failure rate. It's the emotional toll of the ups and downs in our business that kind of wears heavy on you. If you've got looking at your calendar and your day and your week, and you put those big blocks in that we talked about in last week's video, and you do the big things first. The big things are the non-negotiables: your family, your faith, your personal growth and development. And you look at how many hours are left in your real estate business, and you're not going to closings. What else should you be doing? So I don't have any closings to go to. Well, then I should be working on getting things to close. Well, what if I don't have anything that I'm working to close? Well, then I need to be negotiating deals so that I can work on them to get them to close. Well, what if I don't have any deals to negotiate? Well, they better be out there showing houses or listing houses. Well, what if I don't have any houses to show, or any clients to show houses to, or any listings that I'm trying to get? We're right back to prospecting. How many hours in your week are you spending on prospecting? Like we'll find countless ways to do busy versus productive in our industry, and there is a massive difference between the two. Busy is me saying, hey, I need a new logo, and I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks working on a logo for my real estate business. Even though I'm part of a national brand that should have a great logo, I'm going to be smarter than all these graphic artists and the billions of dollars that they've spent. I'm going to make my own logo. That's busy work, and it's not productive. It's not going to make you any money. It may make you feel good for a short period of time, and it may give you something to show your friends, check out my new logo, and they're going to love you. Your mom's going to say that you're the most creative person on the face of the earth, and you're going to go broke. Your logo's not going to make you a damn dime. You know what's going to make you money? Pick up the phone and prospect. Now, I'm not saying you need to cold call, because cold calling is a different animal altogether. I am not saying I'm against cold calling, by the way, but prospecting is first and foremost doing a great job of staying in touch with your sphere. Your sphere of influence should be at a minimum of 70% of your total business for the year. Last week I did that scenario. If you had 1,000 people in your database and 10% of those people moved every year, you're looking at 100 moves a year. If half of those people bought and sold and the other half just bought or sold, there's 150 potential transactions in a database of 1,000 people. How many of them are you getting? And I know it's not 100 or 150, or you wouldn't be watching these videos. See, if you were getting 100 or 150 transactions out of your database, you'd be making videos for people instead of watching videos. The hard truth is you're sitting around being passive, waiting for the phone to call. And hey, guess what? The good news for you is the phone will ring eventually. You're going to do 3 or 4 or 5 deals a year. You're going to be the average realtor making mediocre money, living a mediocre life, talking about how hard it is, the stress and the ups and downs of our business. The rich, the broke, the rich, the broke, because you're not consistently doing the one thing that is so dollar productive, and that is prospecting. So let's talk about prospecting to your sphere and your database. The people in your database need to be being touched 20, 30 plus times a year. And I can almost hear it again. I'll hear the groans and the moaning. Oh, Dave, I can't call my people that much. Oh, my people don't want to hear from me that much. Here's the truth. They do want to hear from you, but only if you're providing something of value to them instead of calling them and asking for the business. Just because I called my friend doesn't mean he's ready to buy or sell a house. So that's not the point of the call. The point of the call is to stay top of mind and to program them to think of you when somebody says real estate. So they say, hey, thinking about buying a house, don't do anything until you talk to my guy Dave. He's the greatest out there. That is the goal of prospecting. So what should you be prospecting? I'm going to give you a couple of easy things. Number one, go into your MLS and do a market search for active contracts and closed over 30 days for a particular zip code. That'll give you some great data in our MLS. It tells me average days on market for the 3 different categories, average price point, average list price to sales price. That's great data. You could make a very simple video like the one I'm doing now, explaining that data per zip code, and then you're going to publish that report on your social media. In particular, get it onto YouTube because YouTube is searchable. And once you put it on YouTube, you can embed that link into an email, and every customer in your, or potential customer in that massive database that owns a home in the zip code that you just did once a month gets that zip code market report emailed to them. They're watching your video, they're seeing your smiling face, and they're going to love you. You did that 12 times a year. That's 12 easy touches right there, and you didn't even really have to work that hard. You probably have, if you made a list of everybody in your giant database, 8, 10, 12 zip codes. You could easily rotate through a couple of those. Doing a video of the breakdown of the market report for a particular zip code probably take you 30 minutes to do. What else are you doing with your 30 minutes? Probably watching Netflix and talking about how hard this business is. You're sleeping in until 10 or 11 o'clock. You're not getting up. You're not hustling. You're not grinding. You're not making video because you have not committed to making videos. See, once you commit to something, there's no looking back. My good friend David Rogers says when you look at breakfast, the chicken was involved, the pig was committed. How committed are you to this project? Do not let yourself sleep on it, and make sure everybody in your database is getting that market report at least once a month. That is a thing of value that they get. In addition to that, at least 4 times a year, you need to be picking up the phone and calling them and checking in. Hey, this is Dave. I'm just calling to check in, making sure you're getting those market reports that I've been sending, and wanted to see if there's anything I could do for you. You're not calling to beg for business. You're calling to provide value for people. If you don't call them, I promise you your competition will. There is a tidal wave of new talent breaking into our business. And man, they are not afraid to work the phones. So if you're afraid to work the phones, you're going to get your butt kicked by these people. So that is another great step for you to do. Make the phone calls 4 times a year. So 12 market reports, 4 phone calls. I got 16 touches here and I'm not even trying. Now here's the other crazy thing. Even if you're not great yet, you're going to list 2 or 3 or 4 homes a year. That's 2 or 3 or 4 opportunities to reach out to everybody in that database again and tell them about your listings. You could even say, hey, I've got it coming soon. Hey, there's an open house. Invite them to the open house. And when you sell it, I'm so excited. I got the Smith's home sold, and we sold that house over in this community for this amount of money. And if you know anybody else that could use my services, I would really appreciate it. You can mass text, you can mass email, and now I can even mass voice drop into people's voicemail boxes so they get that message from me if you're not going to sit there and call all those people. But you've got to do this work. You've got to be staying in touch with them. So then there's another dozen or so emails, calls, text that I could make off of the listings that I have. In addition to that, I'm a huge believer in the teachings of Brian Buffini. Find 3 or 4 things a year, figure them out way in advance, and do your pop buys with the top people in your SOI. Again, you see how I'm just staying in touch, providing items of value. I'm not hoping people call me, hoping that they remember me. They will, because I'm staying top of mind. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was sitting at the office a few weeks back and my phone rings. It's my financial planner. I hadn't spoken to him in a while, and he called to check in. He asked me a question. Hey, what are you and Carrie's my wife, what are you and Carrie doing Friday night? I said, well, I don't know. I have to check in with her, but I don't think we have any plans. I called my wife. Sure enough, we didn't have any plans. I called him back and he said, why don't you meet us downtown? There's this cool rooftop bar we want to go to. We'll have some drinks and we'll visit. We met him, had a good evening, nothing crazy over the top, but we spent some time just reconnecting as humans. And then the next week, an agent comes in for a training with me, and they made a comment about their taxes and their finances, and they needed to figure out some better strategies. And immediately, my financial planner's name popped into my mind. I said, hey, you need to call my guy. I wrote his number on a card. Said, here, give him a call. And then I called him and said, hey, you need to be expecting a phone call from this person. Played matchmaker, put them together. What are the odds that that would have happened had he not called me and invited me out to go have these drinks? It's probably pretty low. He stayed top of mind with me, and as a result, he got the opportunity for the referral. And that's all you want from your friends. You want your friends and your family, the people who know you, like you, and trust you, for you to stay top of mind with them so that they remember that you're in real estate, or you're going to be a secret agent and you're going to be another one of those tens of thousands of agents that go out of the business, 80% in the first 2 years, 85% failure rate in 5 years. If you don't want to be one of them, you've got to be courageous in reaching out to your sphere of influence. In addition to that, once you get comfortable making phone calls, sending texts, emailing people, texting people, then we're going to reach out to other groups of humans that we know are interested in selling. Who are those people? Expireds, for sale by owners. That's a huge group of people that have already said, I'm interested in selling. So connecting with them, building relationships with them is a key component to building a database of humans, and then having the opportunity to serve them. Growing your database is the goal here. Another quick hack or cool thing you can do, a couple of our agents are doing this in the program right now, and they're having great success with it. We've all heard that Zillow is good or Zillow is bad, but whether you like Zillow or not, you need to acknowledge that your customers are going there. Your current customers, your sphere of influence, your people who bought houses with you in the past, because you're not providing this information for them and they do want to know how much their home is worth, they're running to the one place that they've been told they can get a value, even if they don't believe it's 100% accurate, they know it's close enough, they're running to Zillow. So how do I use that Zillow opportunity to grow my business? Go to one of your clients who bought a house a year, 2, 3, 4 years ago. Go look up their property on Zillow. Take a snapshot of the Zestimate with your phone, and then text it to them and say, hey, I was looking up some properties on Zillow, looked at yours, I saw the Zestimate. What do you think about it? I have my opinion. And send that text. Watch people text you back. Again, you're not asking them if they're thinking about selling. You're just using that as a way to stay top of mind, and you're sending them something of value. You're engaging them on their most valuable asset that they have. That is another tool to continue to stay top of mind with people. Guys, it's all about this. Emails, phone calls, text messaging, voice dropping. Any tool that I can to stay in touch with people is effective, but you also have to have a tool of some kind, database management software, something like KV Core or Constant Contact, that you can track if people are getting your emails and stuff, and then how often it is that you're staying in touch with them. But at the end of the day, you have to have the right strategy in place to make all of that work, or you're just going to be one of those agents that sells 3 or 4 or 5 homes a year, and I want better for you, and I know you're capable of more. Guys, I hope you like my videos, and if you haven't already done so, do me a favor, click that subscribe button down below. If there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate to reach out, drop a comment in the comments section, whatever you need, I'm here to help. And until then, be greater than average.